Right, so we've talked about haters and we've talked about people who are completely unwilling to believe asexuality exists. But what about people who seem to be really interested in the idea of asexuality but are missing the point anyway? Have you ever told someone you were asexual and I mean, I usually just say something like, well, not everyone can be this awesome, or something like that because I'm obnoxious, but I actually think there's a lot wrong with it. I think the biggest problem with this is when people assume that somebody who isn't sexually attracted to people is morally superior, has more self-control, or something like that, because first of all, that is quite a sex-negative point of view. That's sort of equating sex with being inferior, being a sort of curse on people, which it doesn't have to be. And also because it is sort of blurring the lines and confusing asexuality with the choice not to have sex. If you say that you admire an asexual person for their attitude about sex, for not finding it important, you're not really admiring them for any choice that they have made. It's kind of weird to put that on a pedestal. It also might sort of feed the assumption that asexuals believe themselves to be morally superior. I can't resist the urge to blow off someone inviting me to go have dinner with them and then tell them I didn't get the text just because I don't feel like it. I can't resist the urge to write lyrics in class instead of paying attention, and that we look down upon people who experience sexual attraction and are interested in sex. And I find that damaging because I don't want people to think that I am mean like that. I believe myself to be superior. I'm not going to talk about some people I've seen on Avon, but let's just assume that that most of us are the kind of asexuals who do not look down upon the 99% or whatever it is. If they're saying it in a way referring to the ease of not dealing with relationships, or even not dealing with sex within relationships, well, it's sort of the same way sometimes straight people say they wish they were gay because they think that somebody of the same gender would have a more understanding relationship or something, and as I'm sure you know, as you could probably assume, every orientation and lifestyle and even individual relationship between people comes with its own set of benefits and problems. I mean, I would say that for asexuality, for asexuals, the main problem that we are faced with in relationships is probably finding somebody who wants to have the same kind of relationship and put the same priority into the same kind of relationship you want. Usually they say something like, wow, I would get so much more work done, or I would think so much more clearly if I weren't thinking about sex so much. And on a personal level, just relating to me, all I have to say to that is, I can assure you that my brain comes up with well enough crap to fill up any extra space that may have been allocated by me being asexual. I procrastinate a lot. I spend all of my time on the internet talking about 80s music. I live on Tumblr. So I don't know if this sort of assumption comes from like fictional married to the job sort of characters. TV tropes, that's another good tool for procrastinating. That just reminded me. But returning back to the subject, I say the grass is always greener on the other side because it's fertilized with bullshit. So in case you have not noticed this about me before, I haven't indicated this before, cupcakes are like one of my favorite things ever, and my parents had cupcakes sent to me for my birthday. It is no longer my 20th birthday because it is 2:12 a.m. But cupcakes, they're awesome. Cupcakes are fabulous.